Now to Commitment 2026, one of the most prominent Republicans in the race to be Florida's next governor, Congressman Byron Donalds, was in Central Florida today.
Tonight, I spoke one-on-one with the Southwest Florida congressman. He's already been endorsed, of course, by President Donald Trump in what has become a very crowded race for governor. Today, the congressman and I talked about his vision, his competitors, and also, of course, the government shutdown.
No, to me, this has actually been a shutdown about nothing. I'm still not even sure why we were closed for 40 days.
Congressman Byron Donalds soon heading back to Washington, D.C., as many are hopeful the country's longest government shutdown will soon come to an end. Donalds not hiding his frustration.
We've now been in a situation where flights have been canceled, SNAP benefits haven't gone out, troops haven't been paid, border agents are not been paid, and now all of a sudden they made a deal 2 nights ago, and now we're just going to reopen the government. I mean, this is a waste of time for everybody.
And from Capitol gridlock to campaign green lights, shifting gears to Florida's gubernatorial race, Donald says Florida's fight isn't red or blue, it's roofs, rates, and real reform.
What would you say your unwavering core promise to voters would be?
At its core, it's about affordability. We're going to continue to push insurance rates down in our state. Taxes, whether at the local level, we got to bring real reforms, but we got to push down the burden and the cost of government because it's really hurting a lot of people at the end of the day.
This is not a right or left moment, but a right or wrong moment.
Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, one of the latest to enter Florida's race for governor. When asked about the competition, whether Republican or Democrat, Donald said he's simply focusing on his race.
But what I will say about Jerry Demings is that Jerry's entire record has actually been quite liberal, quite radical, something that's been out of step with where the state has gone the last 30 years. And as I've traveled the state of Florida, people want to make sure of several things. One, they want our economy to prosper. They want people want to be able to afford their homes. They want to be able to put food on the table, but they want Florida to continue to be the free state of Florida. I'm committed to that. I already know Jerry has been fighting with Governor DeSantis about many of those principles. So he's not the person that's going to take our state to the next level.
My goal is to engage the private sector in working with the public sector to come up with solutions. Some of these candidates are in their 40s, so I've been doing it almost as long as they've been alive.
And with the Senate passing their bill tonight to end the shutdown, Congressman Donald says he will head back to D.C. tomorrow for the House vote.